subject to change, right? This collective space / place is communal, and I just went this weekend to a goddess drum circle, and it was amazing, and it feels really good to be around people that, sorry, the phone computer, same thing. Frame rate reduced to improve video quality. Huh. Okay, whatever. It felt really good to be around people that aren't so harshly judging. That was my experience, at least that was my experience in Christianity, is this superiority of feeling like you are just top tier of your devotion, you're reading your scriptures, you're doing all the things, and there's this judgment that seems to always kind of be in those circles. And that was my experience. I'm not saying that if you're from that faith, you're not welcomed here. That's not it at all. I just think that if we can have a space that is more welcoming, and do I get that people, it's intrinsic of whatever their faith is to be speaking out that naturally, it's going to come up, but I'd rather just have this place / space for everyone to feel more welcomed and to not feel like condemnation is coming upon them, fire and brimstone, because they are not believing certain things or doing certain things. I really want this place to have a community of love for one another, and I mean, really, can you have judgment and love at the same time? I don't know. Film and post. That was the goal. That is still the goal. Film and post. Get used to talking to a camera. I'm getting hot. It snowed here. We got dumped out here in Rinky-Dink, Iowa. Got dumped on. We had a couple days of really nice spring weather. I can only speak to my experience in Christianity, and there was this feeling of superiority of who was doing what and how righteous and how freaking upright you could be, devoted, doing all the things, studying your scriptures daily. And it always had this feeling in those circles of judgment, and it was really freaking nice to go to this goddess drum circle and everyone just feeling like having this feeling of welcome and appreciation, and there was no judgment whatsoever, and it felt really good. And I want this community to have that. So I'm not saying if you do have a particular faith you can't join, but maybe you wouldn't feel as comfortable. And that's why I use the wording that if you're spiritually grounded. So you're not trying to convince anyone to adopt your faith, to see things the way you do, but you're going to withhold judgment on others, and you're going to allow them to experience life, faith, and all of that in the way they see fit. And that's one of the main things I want this community to have a place where it doesn't feel like you're being judged, and having that sense of understanding for one another. And how can we feel supported by one another if we're feeling judged by one another, right? So I know I'm more spiritually open now, nowadays. I don't want to be limited to certain faith and practices and rituals or whatever, because I feel like it's limiting my understanding and my potential. And so if I can allow that for myself, I can allow that for someone else. And yikes, I'm having a lot of trouble with this video, and maybe if I just riff for a bit, it will become more natural to talk to a camera, because